everyone, and welcome to another royal reading, and apologies for my absence yesterday. It was due to my burgeoning career as a performer, and I am being somewhat ironic. Is it ironic or sarcastic? I don't know, but apologies for that. Anyway, here I am today. I've got the giggles now, and it's not about Harry and Meghan for once. Here I am again at the tarot table and using the Shadowland Tarot for this reading. Haven't had these cards out for a while. Shadowland Tarot, haven't used them for a while, but we're dealing with sort of awkward and embarrassing things. Well, we very often are with Harry and Meghan, but this seems to be particularly awkward and embarrassing. And the story, as they all fly out, the story is about Sadiq Khan, the mayor of London, who was doing a promotional tour of the US to try and drum up interest in London, but of course more in drumming up interest in himself, apparently. And there's a story that he had a party in LA and invited the Harkles. The Harkles were going to star at the party, as the Harkles are always going to star at things. But they didn't turn up, they didn't go. They instead sent 3 reps along, strange. And instead of going to the party, they then invited him to Montecito. And he said, sorry, can't make it, busy, logistics, made his excuses. And that is the story. Lots of stuff swirling around it, and I in fact did a reading on this when it first broke, when the story broke. And it was one of those readings that happens very occasionally with me where I could not make any sense of the cards. The cards weren't telling me anything that made any sense. I didn't know what was going on, so I binned the reading. It does happen on very rare occasions, and it just was all very confusing, and I realized that I didn't have enough information about the story to actually do the reading. And sure enough, more information has come out since. The party turned out to be at Soho House, allegedly in LA, and it involved all the movers and shakers of the, obviously, I suppose, it being LA, of the film showbiz industry there in California. And big British names, directors, celebrities, film celebrities, but also executives from Netflix, Apple, Disney, and so on, and so on. And then it became very clear immediately to me that the reason the Harkles didn't go was because they were embarrassed. And hence the Shadowland Tarot, too embarrassed to show their faces, sent their little reps along instead. And the other part of the story is that allegedly Sadiq Khan did not want to go to Montecito, and I don't think because the Netflix cameras were rolling. I think because he didn't want to be seen to be too close to the Harkles when he was busy back in London opening new rail lines with the Queen and having something to do with Prince William. I can't remember what exactly it was, but some gathering he was at. I think it was the FA Cup final with Prince William. So a bit awkward for him. And Richard Eden came out and said afterwards that the fact that Sadiq Khan did not accept the offer to go to the mansion in Montecito is a sign of how toxic the Harkles are. So that is a long preamble. Apologies to those of you who like the cards out on the table quickly. I mean to get down to it, but I'm going to do a 5-card reading with the Shadowland Tarot, and I'm going to look and see why the Harkles didn't go to the meeting in LA, the party in LA. Why Sadiq Khan didn't go and visit them. How toxic are they in film circles and streaming circles and showbiz circles right now? And the outcome of this rather embarrassing story for the Harkles right now. And lots of shuffling, lots of chatting, and that's it. We get down to it now. And 5 cards, Shadowland Tarot, and hopefully this time around this reading will hang together. I like my readings to make sense as a whole, and previous attempt just didn't. So here we go. 5 cards, underlying energy. These are 2 of Wands, is partnerships, and fair enough. especially media partnerships, it being wands, business plans, connecting with people. And of course, the Harkles wanting to connect with Sadiq Khan wanting to connect with the Harkles, but all got a little bit awkward, possibly because of the other people that are involved in the equation, the royals on his side, and all those embarrassing bosses at Netflix and wherever else on the Harkles side. Quite amusing. So let's see the energy around the situation. We get the Knight of Wands in reverse. It's my Prince Harry card. It's the redhead, always somebody who's slightly erratic, hot-headed, impetuous, unreliable. He rushes in, just as fast he rushes away. Harkle unreliability, not just Prince Harry. My opinion, as always, my tarot reading, entertainment purposes, this is the unreliable energy. Somebody who told Netflix perhaps that they would have access to the royals and then didn't. Somebody else who said, yes, I'll make podcasts for you, and then didn't, and so on and so on. Somebody who promised fundraising for one crowd and then said, well, actually, I'm going to do a show on Google or wherever it was, Apple, and sorry about that. And promised too much to too many people, haven't delivered enough to any of them. It's a fiery with embarrassment, I feel. That's the energy that's coming off this card for me. Embarrassment, pure and simple. But let's see, why did they not go to the party they were meant to star at in LA? Four of Wands in reverse. Ooh. They are embarrassed. I'm actually cringing as I see this card. It's the celebration card, normally, the Four of Wands. It is the happy home card as well, the stable foundation card, and they are not stable. It's in reverse. They have not delivered. They have not performed. They really have failed to deliver to these enterprises. These enterprises are showbiz enterprises. The wands keep coming in this reading, all wands so far. It's all about media, it's all about showbiz, and they have not delivered. It's a bit of a Disney castle in the background there. Isn't that interesting? And perhaps some embarrassment factor was because of the Disney story. Remember, Disney, the Harkles need Disney more than Disney needs the Harkles, quote unquote. There was that very embarrassing moment at the Lion King premiere where Harry basically went touting for business for his wife. I thought that was Marcus Anderson's job. Joke. So yeah, embarrassment, failure to deliver, all very unstable. We've got erratic energy here. We've got unstable energy here. Why did Sadiq Khan not bother to go to Montecito? And we get the Four of Cups in reverse. He might have actually considered it, but the Four of Cups is a very funny depiction of it, actually. The Four of Cups is about turning down an offer, saying no to something. You're not feeling it. You're not feeling it. Normally when the card is in the reverse, you realize after the fact that actually maybe you should have done it. Maybe there would have been some benefit to you for doing it. And there is a slight possibility that he's feeling that about this offer, but a very slight possibility. My feeling with this card, and so far all the cards up here have come out in reverse, my feeling is that this was just something he just didn't see any benefit to himself from. Super negative reading of the card, which is already a negative card when it's upright. No, I'm apathetic about it. I'm not really interested. I'm going to turn down the offer, whatever the offer is. And because it's in reverse in this particular reading, I'm reading this card as saying he really just didn't feel it. He wasn't interested. It just didn't do anything for him. It didn't offer him anything, didn't interest him, didn't excite him. So it was no, make polite excuses and sail on. So let's see how toxic the Harkles are in those film and entertainment circles. How toxic are they? Wow, so bad. Oh, it's so bad that I actually am cringing again. The world, but the world in reverse. There she is in her red dress and her giant shoes. But she's in the reverse. She was going to go, remember, and pick and choose the roles. She was going to get all the plum roles. She was going to be Catwoman, whatever else was going to happen. She was going to be in the next Bond movie as the next Bond girl. all those things that were going to happen. They were going to make gazillions even, and it has not happened. It's been a giant flop. It's the world in reverse. The world is the ending card, but the successful completion of a journey, of a cycle, and it's in the reverse. This is a failure to complete a cycle, a failure to achieve your goals in a particular cycle, and it's very public. The world is my public card. It's a public embarrassment. This really is a public embarrassment. They did not go because they were embarrassed by their failure to deliver anything solid. Four of Wands in reverse. Their failure to commit to anything. They're spread so thin around at the moment, thinly around at the moment. They just can't deliver anything to anyone, and they are embarrassed, and they are publicly recognized as failures. So what is the outcome for the Harkles of the story? The fact that the story has now emerged. They were turned down by the Mayor of London, who would rather go and side with the royals. Actually, as it turned out, very publicly, he's a publicity-hungry man, apparently, according to Richard Eden. How is this going for them? Three of Wands. It's really going to affect them negatively. Three of Wands in reverse. And the little octopus holding those candles, and it is instead of an expansion energy, which the Three of Wands is when it's upright, growing your business, growing your influence, it's shrinking. It's reducing their clout. It's humiliating them. That's the word that's come to my mind. It's humiliating them, very humiliating. Their influence is shrinking, their power is shrinking, their fame is fading away very quickly. Reversals, full of reversals in this reading. And literally, I think it means in this case, reversal of fortune for the Harkles. Too embarrassed to show their faces. We had all that nonsense about them going to the Oscars and the Met Gala and the after parties and the blah blah. And they managed to buy themselves their own NAACP award and get thrown out of the United Nations, and a few other embarrassing moments for them. But the big stuff, the real power players, the people, the movers and the shakers, the people that they thought would come beating a path to their door, no. And now they're too embarrassed to even show their faces at Soho House in LA. Of course, in my opinion, tarot reading and allegedly. Thank you for watching, suffering through the beginning, and I will move on to the next reading.